Both of these tags are tucks. They're just done a little bit differently. So we have a flip up matchstick style, and then this one flips out attached with material. Both are little secret hideaways because on first inspection it doesn't look like there's anything there. And then the back is just, they're just done different styles. We've kind of done this on another one. This is just leaving some very formal writing space. So if we're going to do a matchstick style, you can sit and measure this out. But basically, from here down is all tag, and it folds up at the bottom, and you can just do this any distance you want. You like, this is about an inch. That's exactly an inch. I folded up an inch. Now you could staple it at the bottom here, or in this case I glued it so I didn't have to cover up a staple. But I'll just show you the difference if you use a staple. So you don't staple all the way to the top because you need room to be able to tuck your picture in. We're going to need a little scrap of fabric, and we're just going to keep using the same stuff, a little matching set by the time we're done. You'll see on the back, I glued this on here. So before that, I need to figure out what I'm going to put on the back. And I have to make sure that I cover this staple. I didn't have that issue with that one because I didn't use a staple. So I have a couple of little images we could use. I think we should probably pick our photo first. I grabbed a couple. I think I'm gonna do the group of ladies just for the fun of it. It's the same width. I think it's probably how I started using this size tag because a lot of old photos are that size. So on this, if this is going to go on the front, on the back I want to have something that will go along with that photo. It doesn't have to be an image, it can be a pattern. I do have some cutouts from books, and they're not necessarily a thing. Like it could just become a pattern because they're just the portions of the page that don't have anything specific to aim for. Like when I cut out this picture that has kind of a focal point, all that extra around it became scraps. I don't think any of these are gonna fit. I have old comic books, and those can be fun to put in if I'm looking for, I really only need a small section, but I can rip it so it goes over that staple too if I want, or I can add something later. I really want this sort of girlfriend picture here to be primary, so it covers the staple and goes all the way to the top. This is going to be covered by material, so I'm not going to worry so much about that image. I just want to make sure this one is fully on there. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac just like with the fabric. Even though it's paper on paper, it's just an easy way to go back and forth between paper and fabric. There is also glitter glue, which is great, but I wouldn't use it as much. I have it here, but because I go back and forth between fabric so much, I don't really use it as much. Alright, I'm getting glue all over my table, but that's okay. I purposefully bought this glass mat because I've seen people using them and ask them about it, and they say they're really easy to clean, and my table is covered in paint and glue and all this stuff that I can't get off of it. And it's true, I could, if I really need to, I can razor the top to get like glue off, and alcohol will wipe a lot of it off. I can use my alcohol inks on this and it doesn't ruin them. I can just wipe it right up. It's great. Okay, so we have our first piece. Now we can glue our fabric down. I'm going to do a strip and then rub it down flat so it doesn't leak through the fabric. I'm not going to go down super far on it, so try to keep my head out of the image as I lean forward here. I guess I'm going to do this side down here. All right, so then this is going to attach to our image. I want to make sure I have enough image that can tuck. It doesn't have to line up with the top. It's nice if it does, but it doesn't have to. It just needs to be able to tuck. So, again, a bunch of glue on the end of that. All right, it's up to you whether you want to put glue on the page or the picture. I'm going to put it right on the picture because I can spread it around a little easier. And I do want to flatten this out or else you'll have watermarks on your fabric. And just fold it over. So now you have a tucked image. When it dries, you'll be able to open it and close it. And it's held on by fabric. Looks pretty simple so far. Now we're going to come up with some details to cover the staple. So we could use an image. I could use scraps of lace from other projects where I've cut it off. I could put words there. I might have like a little, this one's too big, but I might have a little image I want to add. So I think what I'll do is have a little bunch there, but I'm going to off-center it because I hate symmetrical things, and I kind of have this whole ink thing on the side. So I might just do a little bunch and then have some decorative thing there. So I could put something like, you know, a section of one of these images on there. If I found something that was similar, like people hanging out. But I think something smaller will be the best. Oh, look at, oh, that's so cute. It's unrelated totally, but you can buy bundles of ephemera from different companies. I do have those, but I found as I work on things that I tend to look for my own images now. I don't know why, just adding to the level of personalization. But this comes from a little kit, and that's cute. I like that. So we can set them in a way that the lace sticks out a little bit, the fabric sticks out a little bit, kind of draws, makes connections between the two. And I want to make sure it covers the staple. So I always put glue on the staple, and then I am less likely to forget because I will want to cover the glue naturally. And because we're putting layers, you don't have to worry so much about leakage of glue. Because we're going to, yeah, we'll put another layer over top of it. And I'm going to have this kind of sticking out a little bit. I am actually going to put it on a couple spots on the lace where the lace is thicker or more woven. And I'll stick that down. And then this is really going to hold the whole thing together anyway, so we'll just cover this whole thing and it'll help secure it. You could staple that down as part of your initial putting it together, and that would be even easier. So now we have a matchstick style that opens. We tuck it like this to close it. Now we need a writing section in the back. I have some coffee dyed. This has turmeric in it, so it's really yellow. This is just straight coffee. I think I'm actually going to tear it so I don't have to like age an edge or whatever. Not that you'd have to do that, but I tend to do that. So if I tear it about the size I want it, I don't feel the need to have clean edges. I like the tear look, but if you don't, then just measure and cut it. If you did like 2 inches by 3 inches, you'd be covered. Now this is going to cover them up. I didn't even realize. Oh, I don't know if I want it that big then. I really like them. Okay, I'm going to make it smaller. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. It looks a little bit different, but that's okay. Because we're not trying to make exactly the same thing. Oh, I like that. That's cute. And they don't lose them. All right. So we could put words on this. And here I put words on the inside. I'm going to use this extra bonus piece for the inside writing space. I'm going to offset it a little bit, and then we can put something here. I could put something that is ornamental on there, which I kind of like that. That looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll clip that off. I could have something like this. Oh, that's super cute. I don't even feel like I need to have words on it. No, I'm not really gonna even make that the same length because I like having that extra writing on there, or you know, the note having multiple inches. In other words, you might not know what it is. That's really cute. And this one, I just found it at an antique. I just found this at an antique store, and it's stitched paper. That's all it is, but it's just an old way of doing measuring. I actually really like that. So I don't necessarily even need words, but you could. It's just two different ways of doing it. One is more focused on images, one's focused on words. You could put some words up here because it kind of has like a shadow. So I found a word thing I'm interested in using. I just gotta cut out the part I want because I already put a back on it. Sometimes it's a mistake to do that because they don't always fit in this space. So this one says, perhaps they're old. And that kind of draws your eye away from that shadow underneath the fabric. And then you could put something else in here that is related. You could do this. It says, I just don't believe it. So if you think perhaps they are old, I just don't believe it. I actually like that. I think I'm going to use that. I'm just doing it very simply. This one's cut out of a comic book, so it has a different look to it. You can see I didn't get quite close enough with the fabric, so it's got kind of a weird overhang there, but that's okay, because flaws are okay. Now I need to cut all this extra stuff off that I was ignoring all this time. Probably was driving you crazy. Now you can leave a bit of an edge with the fabric and rough it up instead of trying to make it like perfectly straight, especially if you have an error like I did where it's not quite lined up. That will help. And just rough it up by running your fingers across it. Alright, so there's our front. Perhaps they're old. Open it up. I just don't believe it. And then when we flip it over, we have a little spot to write. I love it. Turned out great.